This is home. Cheyenne, your Wyoming link starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jamie Holmes. We begin this evening with the latest on a shootout in Cheyenne that ended with one man dead and a Laramie County Sheriff's deputy in intensive care. This all began Saturday when Laramie County Sheriff's deputies made contact with a suspect around Cahill Park after an assault call had been made at the Laramie County Community College. There was a slow-speed pursuit of the suspect's vehicle, which ended in Miles Court. That's when the deputy was shot. The deputy is in ICU at Cheyenne Regional and is in stable condition. The suspect was shot and killed. The Department of Criminal Investigation will now take over the case. A strain of avian flu has made its way to Wyoming, and poultry producers of all sizes are being warned to keep an eye on their flocks. As of Thursday, the presence of highly pathogenic avian influenza had been confirmed in 2 Wyoming counties. The Wyoming Livestock Board warned it's a highly contagious viral disease that can infect chickens, turkeys, and other birds, and can cause severe illness or sudden death in infected birds. That virus identified in birds from Johnson and Park County. Everyone 50 and older and certain immunocompromised individuals are now eligible for a second COVID booster to be received 4 months after your initial booster. The rollout happening now. COVID-19 cases are going down across Wyoming. Data suggests the boosters are more effective at preventing severe illness in those at high risk. Wyoming residents can get the second booster at any location where first boosters are already being administered. Visit Cheyenne hosted a travel forum with the hopes of bringing future business to the city. Cheyenne Mayor Patrick Collins hopes this forum brings in increased tourists to the city and helps to bridge the gap between Yellowstone visitors and Capital City visitors.
This last week they hosted 150 travel planners. These are people from all over the country who come here with the idea of meeting together, but also gives us a chance to show off Cheyenne. And the hopes would be that they'll bring conferences here that will fill our hotel rooms and help with our economic development. I keep telling the people up in Teton County we're coming. We're number 2, but we're coming for number 1. I don't know that we'll ever catch Yellowstone, but we're going to try.
Visit Cheyenne is the group that collects the lodging taxes and uses those taxes to talk about Cheyenne and Laramie County and to get people to come and stay. Laramie is the number 2 county in the state of Wyoming after Teton County and Yellowstone in the Tetons as far as people spending the night and in spending dollars in tourism. Around Wyoming now, police in Evansville were involved in a high-speed pursuit that lasted for 60 miles before it ended with that suspect in custody. Investigators say the pursuit started around 7 Saturday night when that silver Subaru blew through a red light, went on the sidewalk, and almost hit several people. Police say the driver failed to stop and the pursuit headed east on I-25, hitting speeds of more than 100 miles per hour. Authorities say the vehicle was stolen and the suspect had a weapon. The driver lost control on Highway 93 near Glen Rock and the car rolled. Jensen Miles was arrested and taken to the hospital. No one else was injured. Wyoming Highway Patrol, Glen Rock Police, and the Converse County Sheriff's Office were all involved in various points with the pursuit. The outpouring of support continues for 3 high school students who were transported to out-of-state hospitals after they sustained major injuries during a flash fire in Casper in March. Kimberly Barrett-Tarrant has more on the effort to raise money nationwide.
Wild Gear partnered up with NFL player Logan Wilson to create these bottles where all of the proceeds will go to the 3 teenagers' families who were involved in the fire earlier this month. The collaboration has been in the works since the news broke of the 3 teenagers severely burned in a flash fire on Lakeview Lane, March 4th. Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Logan Wilson and Wild Gear created the Mag bottle to contribute their support to the teenagers receiving emergency care. Partner at Wild Gear, Mike Caroni, says the Casper-based company wants to help their community when they can.
We were approached by Logan Wilson about, he's a big member of this community, a big believer in this community, and said what happened. And we're all from Casper, and we just believed in rallying around our hometown, and we wanted to give everybody an avenue to be able to help if they could do it.
With the Mag bottles only have launched 2 weeks ago, they have already raised $26,000, with the majority of the purchases coming from Casper. 100% of the proceeds will be given to the families, and Caroni says that although the process of creating the bottles can be labor-intensive, it's all worth it. The words on the Mag bottle meaning the right attitude and effort can take you anywhere. A motto that Logan Wilson has believed throughout his football career, starting in Natrona County High School, and was placed to encourage the teenagers on their path to recovery.
We believe that was just a good motto to kind of live by and help them through these hard times.
Those who show their support will be automatically entered in a raffle drawing for an autographed Logan Wilson jersey. The special edition Attitude and Effort Mag bottle is available in 34 and 44 ounces and will only be for sale through April 15th.
Fentanyl-related deaths are going up in Wyoming. In 2019, 11 Wyoming residents died from fentanyl-related overdoses. The number almost doubled the following year to 21. The number increased to 45 in 2021, with 7 more possible overdoses reported already this year. In 2021, Laramie County had the highest number of overdoses from fentanyl. Fentanyl is 80 to 100 times more potent than heroin. Wildlife is one of Wyoming's most visible and valuable natural resources. However, wildlife movement and human transportation often conflict. In this week's WYDOT report, Doug McGee tells us how WYDOT works to keep travelers and animals safe.
Work will begin this spring on a federal build grant project near LaBarge, adding fencing and underpasses. It's the latest project in an ongoing effort to keep wildlife and vehicles separate and safe. From signage and fencing to underpasses and overpasses, WYDOT has a long history of incorporating wildlife mitigation into highway construction projects where funding allows.
So we want to make sure that if we can try to limit collisions, that helps protect the traveling public. And so as we get funding, we can work on some of these projects.
Nearly 3,000 wildlife vehicle collisions are reported each year in Wyoming. Efforts to reduce those numbers help increase traveler safety while protecting the state's wildlife populations.
You know, if we see a lot of wildlife hit in one place, maybe that's an area that we need to look at for future consideration for either fencing or some type of a crossing, or just even signs to warn motorists to be safe.
WYDOT works with Game and Fish and wildlife organizations to identify areas of concern and opportunities for wildlife mitigation.
DuBois area is one that we're considering. Halleck Ridge, a big overpass over I-80. And then we're also starting to look at maybe another project from Evanston to Kemmer. We're looking at more undercrossings there to help deal with wildlife. So we have a large list. It's just the funding constraints of what we can do and when.
Reminding you to watch out for wildlife and always buckle up. This is Doug McGee reporting.
When it comes to online scams in Wyoming, it's familiar brand names that often get you. Phishing scams are a type of social engineering attack used to steal user data. According to a new report by the Cyber Wyoming Alliance, brand impersonation was the top way to do this in 2021. That's when a phishing attack is hidden in an email that looks like it comes from a legitimate company. In Wyoming, people reported Amazon, Microsoft, Norton, and PayPal as the top brands being impersonated. Cyber Wyoming Alliance says often the crooks use church names as well. The spring-like temps will be back and forth all week long. A check of some cooler temps coming into Wyoming when we return.